Hello, today we are doing Chapter 2, Section 5, Day 2 in Pre-Calc. And our essential question is, how can you solve a rational equation? All right, this is our basic one right here. We've got 3 equals x plus 1 equals 9 over 4x plus 5. Tell you what, this is my favorite type when you have one fraction set equal to another fraction. Think back to Algebra 1, that is a proportion. If you've got a proportion, all you have to do is cross multiply, and then it becomes a pretty basic Algebra 1 type of problem. Distribute, subtract 9x on both sides, get those variables to one side, get those numbers to the other side, divide. We've got x equals -2. And you can check this into the original equation, just plug it in, and voila, that works. So that one is a nice problem. So when you have one fraction set equal to another fraction, then cross multiply and you've got a proportion. So tell you what, there are 3 proportions here. What I would suggest you do is hit pause, try these 3 on your own. When you think you have an answer, hit the play button. First one is 3, -1/3. And the last one, you get 2 answers because you created a quadratic, -1 and 4. However, it doesn't usually stay that easy. Here we have 5 over x plus 7 over 4 equals -9 over x. So we're going to go ahead and write that original equation down. And we don't want to deal with fractions. Fractions are a pain in the neck. So what you need to do is you need to look at those denominators and go, what would be my common denominator? Well, it would be x times 4, which would be 4x. So I'm going to multiply each term by 4x, or that's the same as multiplying both sides by 4x. But I always like to think about it as I'm going to multiply each term by 4x. And what happens is on that first term, your x's cancel out, and you get 4 times 5. That's where that 20 comes from. Here, my 4's cancel out. I'm going to get x times 7, which is where the 7x comes from. Here, my x's cancel out. I get 4 times -9, which is -36. 7x equals -56. X is -8. Check your answer quickly, and it does work out. Kind of curious, did anybody think of another way to solve this problem? You could have also subtracted 5 over x from both sides and created a proportion. Sometimes that works out that you're able to do something like that. A lot of times you can't, because on part B, there's really nothing you can do to create a proportion. Let's go ahead and do part B. I've got 1 over or minus 8 over x minus 5 equals 3x. So that's kind of just an ugly problem. I'm going to find out what my common denominator is. Well, it would be x times x minus 5. So I'm going to multiply each term by x times quantity x minus 5. And I'm going to multiply that by 1, and I get x times x minus 5. Then I'm going to multiply it by the second term. My x minus 5's cancel, and I'm just left with 8. 8 times x equals -8x. Multiply that times the third. My x's cancel, and I get 3x minus 5. Oops. That's not what I meant to hit. So now you've got more of an algebra problem. You're going to simplify, distribute. X squared minus 5x minus 8x equals 3x minus 15. We need to combine like terms and subtract 3x and add 15 to both sides. They kind of combined a couple steps here, but we can handle that. -5x minus 8x is -13. Subtract the 3x and you get negative 16x. Add 15. Factor. Set each factor equal to 0 and you get x equals 1 or x equals 15. You always want to check these back into your original solutions. And in this case, they both work out. Every once in a while you get something that won't work out and you've done nothing mathematically incorrect. That's called creating an extraneous solution, and you don't want to put an extraneous solution down on your answer line. Okay, here are 3 problems. Try these 3 on your own. When you think you have an answer, hit the play button again and check your answer. All right, this is kind of a challenging problem. You have x squared minus 9. I would probably kind of think of that as x plus 3, x minus 3. So, which is what they did, write each denominator in factor form. And your lowest common denominator would be x plus 3, x minus 3. You want to get all the factors in there. So we've got 6 over x minus 3, x plus 3, x minus 3, x plus 3. So my lowest common denominator would be x plus 3 times x minus 3. I'm going to multiply each term by x plus 3, x minus 3. X minus 3's cancel. X plus 3, x plus 3, x minus 3, x minus 3's cancel. X plus 3, x plus 3's cancel. So now we can go ahead and simplify. X plus 3 times 6 equals 8x squared minus, be careful of that minus sign, and that'll be x minus 3 times 4x. Distribute. We've got a quadratic, so everything needs to be set equal to 0. So subtract 6x, subtract 18. Divide by your greatest common factor, which is 2. So we divided 0 by 2, 4x squared by 2, 6x by 2, 18 by 2. It's not a necessary step, but it sure makes it easier when you are factoring. So now we factor, set each factor equal to 0. Solve, and you get x equals 3/2, x equals -3. You might think you're done, but you're not. You need to check your answer. And if I were putting this into a calculator, I'd probably think of it as 1.5, and that one works out. But if you put -3 back in, uh-oh, you're getting 0 in the denominator. That is not allowed. So it's undefined. -3 is not a solution. It's what we call extraneous. So the only solution is 3/2. All right, here are 2 problems for you to try on your own. I suggest you hit the pause button. After you have worked them out, hit the play button and see how you did. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop right there. As always, if you are finding this lesson difficult, you are welcome to come to iPass or MathLab. Until then, enjoy.